All right, Shalom, Yashala. Peace be unto the nation of Israel, to modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Spectrum Israelites, otherwise known as the Israelite foreigners, scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great. We are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, just want to give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Baruch, which in the Paleo or ancient Hebrew means all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh in the name of His only begotten and anointed Son Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer and our light and our salvation. Also in the Paleo or ancient Hebrew, I'm going to go ahead and utter Mashiach, Kabadim Lahasequanim, Shal, Galabarbakab, many double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, the true shepherds of Israel, along with the like-minded Sequani, while I came across the four corners of the earth. Also pushing the sound doctrine, faith, truth, and sincerity, and shalom, honor, and salutations to Bayash Shadawada, the house of David, representing 144,000 elected governing body, the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elected men, women, and children of Israel. All right, and with that, I just want to say shalom once again. Back at it, give another epistle entitled "Shame Shall Come to This Adulterous and Sinful Generation." Okay, mainly focusing on these adulterers, okay, these adulterous men, these adulterous harlots, mainly the nation of Israel. Okay, the only people that matters to the Lord, okay, needs are in great need of rebuke. Okay, as we draw close and close to the end of Esau Edom's rulership in the very beginning of ours, Yahweh Shem Shai is going to intensify the judgments. So we're going to be, continuing to be the sound a trumpet, as a watchman of Israel on the highways and hedges, to warn our people to repent. All right, to inform our people of their transgressions, like it says in Isaiah, the 58th chapter, and that includes adultery. All right, so I'm going to bring out this first article, which is on usmagazine.com, okay? And it's a situation between Kiki Palmer and her so-called boyfriend, the displeasure that he went ahead and publicly conveyed over her, posing a revealing outfit, revealing her breasts and her buttocks and whatnot, man. All right, before this down, adulterous sodomite Usher, right, the singer Usher. All right, so this particular situation here is what this lesson is further entitled. In this case, rather further influenced by way of, okay, to further point out, the adultery that's heavy and prevalent in the so-called cultures of our people. Okay, because our people have been given over to degeneracy. Okay, all right, through the wine of fornication, all right, by our enemies, mainly through this Western philosophy, okay, biblically known as the wine of fornication. So it says here, Kiki Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, shades her for wearing a form-fitting outfit. I have standards, he said. So Kiki Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, threw shade at her for an outfit she donned at a recent Usher concert. This is the outfit, though. You a mom, Jackson, 29, wrote via Twitter on Wednesday, July 5th, alongside a video of Palmer, 29, on stage being serenaded by Usher, age 44. The Nope actress donned a skin-tight black bodysuit with a sheer black polka dot cover-up on top. All right, and this is what this outfit looked like. Okay, right here, completely out of order, man. Well, so despite the fact she has a husband, okay, they gave her a child, she is out revealing her assets that belong to her men, in order for her to entice other men, okay, including these high caliber, prestigious men in the world, mainly white people, and which would include Usher, okay, Usher, age 44, Usher, okay, famous Hollywood singer who was was actually partaking in sodomite acts as a part of his ritual, his Hollywood ritual, when he was an adolescent. You see, this is the kind of authority these women seek. They seek vainglory because their perception of a man is, a thug, a so-called thug, or a man that doesn't pay, them any attention, that lacks just as much integrity as a woman does, immorality and so forth. Okay, and is very shameful, a very shameful individual. That's why niggas and bitches are two sides of the same coin, and this is why these women dress like this, because those are the types of men they're looking to attract. Okay, brute beasts. So the brother Darius Dalton went on to say, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is." Exactly, man. So Esau has established a satanic society by way of his, justified by his immoral decrees and policies, to oust righteousness, because he despises righteousness, because he knows that there's no salvation um, or repentance for him. So that's why the hearts of evil men are waxing worse and worse, like it says in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, which is why he's emboldening these people more so now than ever before to just can be completely wicked, especially women, man, because they're very gullible and docile. So it's not very easy to entice you to be wicked, because you're naturally wicked. Like it says in the book of Sirach, I believe in the 25th chapter, it says how through the woman we all die, because she brought sin into the world. Okay, going back to Eve, hence how why the earth ended up getting cursed. Okay, so that, like it says in Ecclesiastes 7:26, man, the heart of a woman is like bands and necks, traps. Okay, and this is nothing but a thirst trap right here. Got to with a breasts all out. Okay, like damn harlot, Sierra. Am I right? It's your Russell Wilson's wife. Okay, allowed this harlot to shame him at some kind of BET event. Okay, we could see everything, man, through a similar see-through outfit that Keke Palmer's wearing here. Okay, and if you're the husband of any of these harlots and you speak out against his madness, okay, and his wickedness, then they'll label you as a bigot, a hater, as the brother said here. Okay, a chauvinist. Okay, so this is St. Mark chapter 8, verse 38, and it reads, "Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." So these people are ashamed of the gospel, okay, which in a physical manifestation is Hamashiach Yahushai, who the masses of the world ignorantly refers to Jesus Christ. That's why they refer to this gospel, and in this case, rather, they perceive this gospel to be a burden to them. Okay, like it says in St. John, the 3rd chapter, as if, people can't have fun within the confinement of the word. Like case in point, we're permitted by the law to drink, to partake in the indulgence of in the consumption of yayin, okay, wine, alcohol. Okay, as long as it's done in moderation and within the confinement of our home, we can turn up. Okay, within those limits, because there's order in everything. And this is why in Joel the 10th chapter speaks about how there's darkness in the land without light, without order. Okay, so this is a very adulterous and sinful generation, man. Okay, and where as a result of a lack of order, these people are just at liberty to just be to indulge in all manners of wickedness, man. Including all kinds of sexual illicit acts, such as orgies, which goes back to the pagan Roman Empire. Okay, of course, sodomy. Okay, you got these strange laws where people can been permitted to marry trees and all kinds of madness, man. Okay, marry themselves. Where is all this madness in the scriptures, man? So this further confirms that we are living in these perilous times, like it says in 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Okay, I'm going to get that real quick. Why are these people shameless? Because they lack fear of Yahweh by Shem Shai. 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. See, see, this is a perfect example of this generation now. They have no respect, they have no morality, they have no integrity, and they're just little gremlins of these beasts that just need death, and they will receive exactly that. Okay, for their name is being written in the earth. Okay, for marveling after this beast system. There's a lot of these people, okay, going to take the chip, the mark of the beast. But this is 2 Timothy 3:2 from the top. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And that definitely describes this generation, man. Okay, they don't respect shit. Like this young Jake robbing this 80-something-year-old woman, man, at an ATM. See? So the brother was right. He was in his right mind, checking this broad, man. His wife. Like, what the hell what are you doing? Why are you wearing that? And he's not stupid for the fact that he's privy to Esau's devices in the sense that he understands that she was given that platform to share that stage with Usher, so she can entice him with her provocative outfit, which is completely out of order. So he had every right addressing his wife, and that's a great sign, man. That the wine of Egypt is rather Salaki, the bondage of Egypt is wearing off, pursuant to Isaiah the 19th chapter. Okay, or including feminism. You go back to the Queen of Heaven Semiramis worship. Okay, which is why they got that gigantic Statue of Liberty down there in New York, which I believe is in Manhattan, New York. Okay, to reverence the Greek goddess of liberty, Libertas. So feminism, sodomy, and all and other associated acts of debauchery and wickedness is heavily promoted here. Because Esau, okay, is epitome of death, and he brings death wherever he goes, man. So this is not life. Just because you're pleasing your flesh doesn't mean you're living, man. Matter of fact, this is 1 Timothy 5:6. All right, and it reads, "But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth." See, so this woman is dead, man. Pursuing Ezekiel 37th chapter, part of the valley dry bones, just gone with the wind. See. So I'm going to continue with this next precept, Leviticus 19:29. All right, Salakia, and it reads, "Do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness." And this is exactly what our people have done. You know, as well as these Edomites, man. You know, prostituting them out through the sexual exploitation of these women. Well, they've adopted the term sex sales. That's why you go to like a Twin Peaks or like a Hooters or some of these bar/restaurant franchises. You're gonna see half naked ass women up in there, man. Like they work at a strip club. You can see this in corporate in general, or just roundabout in this world, man. Especially in those settings I just mentioned, but they heavily promote whoredom. But a princess slash daughter of Israel is not supposed to have that mindset because they're royalty, man. Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. Okay, so just like similar to a whore, okay, Israel had committed spiritual whoredom, which is otherwise known as fornication, meaning idolatry, or the reverence or worship of other deities or gods, man, including these various deities or slash idols that further reverences the woman, man. As if she's some sort of so-called goddess. Okay, because Esau's weaponized the minds of our women specifically. Okay, through Planned Parenthood. Okay, all right. So these are all part of these divide and conquer tactics. But this is back in Leviticus 19:29. It says, Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. And this is exactly what's happened, to our holy land, where it's inhabited by the Gentiles, prophesied in St. Luke, the 21st chapter, that made modern day Ashdod, which is Palestine, or Slakia, Tel Aviv, okay, and until a damn a mole land, man. So you devils have holy pay coming to you, man. Okay, it may not happen this year, it may not happen this year. Adulterous does happen soon, sooner than we believe, man. Which it will. Adulterous, if not this year, next year, hopefully adulterous. So we don't have to deal with this madness anymore, man. Okay. So just like it's wicked to prostitute that daughter, to cause it to be a whore. Likewise, Jake partaking into spiritual whoredom, fornication. Okay, the worshiping of other gods, man. All right, this is Deuteronomy 23 and 7. Slakia, that's not it. So verse 17, Slakia. And it reads, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Yashala, Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Yashala, Israel. All right. Case in point. And what does this exhibit? Whoredom. And she's obviously not the other one. There's many others out there. Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, whole bunch of them, man. All right. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 42. Start at verse 11. Let me jump up a little bit. Verse 9, Salakia. This is Sirach 42 and 9. It says, the father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, which is her menstrual cycle, her period. And being married, lest she should be hated. Because it's a part of the ancient Hebrew customs of the ancient Hebrew Israelites to keep the laws of marriage, including offering young marriageable maidens to their future husbands. Okay, unless she did something wicked to entice this man to not want to do it anymore. We're not supposed to put we're not supposed to put our wives away. But now you got this hookup culture through these dating apps and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And virtual dating and all this other madness. I remember way back in the day, they had call lines where people call and they called it phone sex. That's madness, man. It says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, that we're all created by the pleasure of sleep, which is sex. Okay, but sex is not the pinnacle of marriage, for lack of a better term, man. All right, or not the end all be all. It's just icing on a cake, like popcorn's in the movie. Because in actuality, we're supposed to be having sex to first fulfill the commandment of Abba Yahweh to be fruitful, multiply. And what is the fruit of a man? Is his sperm. Okay. Case in point. Not to pump and dump these women, and definitely not to prostitute our daughters, and to condone thought behavior with our daughters, as well as to set the record straight. Sirach 42 and 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she should pass the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. That's a shameful thing not to have a husband back then. That's why when our forefather Yahweh had penetrated Mary, he kind of had her hid out of sight, because they didn't have a ceremony where the families are where the families become more acclimated with each other. All right. And then following that ceremony, the marriage is consummated through sex. So this is Sirach 42 and 10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, Okay, having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. All right, read that again. Sirach 42:10. Her virginity, lest she should be defiled and God with child in her father's house. And having a husband, lest she should be misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she be barren. So, oftentimes when a woman doesn't have a husband, she is acting, she's misbehaving herself at the wazoo because she is like Lot's wife. And being around these kind of women is gonna be, we're gonna we really have to have the spirit of Yahweh Shemar Shah really dealing with us, man. To have to deal with that madness. So this is Sirach 26:9. It says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks, okay, and eyelids. See, look at this shit. You can clearly see it. Eyelids, excessive makeup, spoken about in Jeremiah the 4th chapter. So hey, this information is out there. See this? You see her body. Look at this nigga. Look at this adultery mo. This damn fairy, man. Look at what he's looking at this married woman, essentially, not officially. But if she dealing with that man, it is what it is. That's her husband. Look at the way Usher is seeking her. Um, somebody said, yeah, I already read that part. Yeah, so on to the next one, on to the next precept. This is Sirach. I'm read down to verse. Let me see. Yeah, this is Sirach. I think I'm in the wrong chapter. Sirach 6 and let me see here. In verse 9, it says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. And I brought this out a few moments ago. The spirit wanted to come back out. All right. And this is verse 10. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. So going back to the previous verse, Salakia. It says, how it gives us, the law or it not only the law but it instills righteousness in us to rectify spiritual issues through the spirit. Binding Satan, putting a curse on his children, okay, and so forth. Sirach 26:10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she should abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Okay, just like this individual here. All right. All right. Yeah. So going back here. So this is Sirach 26:11. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Because like I said, like how I said in St. Mark the 8th chapter, this is a sinful and adulterous generation, man. Like like Eddie Murphy had mentioned in that Raw special rather, Salakia, comedic special, excuse me, for the tongue tangling. But anyway, he said, "Yo, this is like, excuse my language in advance, my British." But he said, "Hey, man, it's like fuck Fest '87, man. Everyone just sleeping with each other, cause that's the spirit of Rome." Okay, Verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he has found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. All right. So, dealing with the water of a man, the fruit of a man, his sperm. Okay. This is something that she seeks after, along with her getting her quiver penetrated by random arrows. So that's why these women have they got side pieces, just like women are. That's really a masculine spirit. You're not a man. You don't have a rod and stones. You don't have the biological scepter it takes to create life, man. You created to be the garden to your husband, to your husband, and where husband is our gardening or farming term, meaning to plow. Okay, so when we plow our rods into a woman, when we penetrate a woman, right, we're plowing into her land and planting our seed. Okay, to further keep our legacy growing through her. But where these women get wrong at is they try to overstep their role in this here play. Okay, by Abanawi Yahweh. Okay, and then when they manage to go out there and play the harlot, like all these women there, man, really, especially in association with her, the majority of them are finished. Okay, so St. James 1:21. And I'll hold that on deck too. St. James chapter 1, verse 21. And it reads, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word." Okay? Which is able to save your souls. All right? Because that's why, scripture mentions how Yahushua is a bishop and shepherd of our souls, who taught us about about the legacy of the kingdom of heaven. Okay? While teaching us to deny ourselves in his flesh. See? Because if the flesh is weak and the spirit is willing in the spiritual warfare. All right? And this further confirms what? This flesh is chains in darkness, man. Chains of darkness. Okay? Complete filth. So that whoredom is literal and figurative, as in spiritual, in a sense. It's also because of the reason why, there's whoredom, spiritual fornication, idolatry committed in the land of Israel. And that's ultimately why we got kicked out of Israel, all right, or Jerusalem, pursuant to now I lost my train of thought, but nonetheless, I read this again, St. James 1:21, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." All right. People say, when it comes time to justify the wickedness, they'll make these vain statements like, "Oh, well, only God knows my heart." That's some shit Tupac said. There's nowhere in the scriptures, man. So we're commanded to lay all part of all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, man, by giving our minds over to the gospel of Yahweh by Shemeshah Baruch HaKodesh. Like it said in Revelation 3, how our minds will be supped with by Yahushua through the word. All right, to cleanse us, all right, through baptism, to make us a new righteous creature, pursuing Ephesians, the 4th chapter, before Yahweh by Shemeshah. See? So this is Isaiah 1. And this is why that, reminds me of the damn cuck, Adam 22, reportedly filmed, a buck, a so-called black man penetrating his wife. And that's complete and utter Roman madness. But they've been promoting that here. Okay. You want to say vain statements like, "Oh, my body, my choice," and whatnot, man. This is Isaiah 1:21. How is a faithful city becoming harlots? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderous. See, so our faithful city, okay, the mountain of Yahweh by Shemeshai, Israel, has become an harlot, a detestable thing, to the point to where, hey, these other nations are looking to deter that much more away from the petrodollar. Like most recently, Ethiopia. It's further confirms that America is standing on wobbly knees. See, Isaiah 1:21. How is a faithful city becoming harlots? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderous. Verse 22. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine waxed slakia. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. All right, and dross is like a lesser metal, for used to further compose silver. So this parable is further symbolic of our leaven. How there's leaven and a stubborn leaven that just doesn't want to be cleaned out, man. See, just to further use that as an example. But yeah, man, thy silver has become dross. Okay, less precious. Thy wine mixed with water. You got Jake mixing doctrines. Okay, Isaiah 1:23. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the window. Salakia. Neither does the cause of the widow come unto them. See? Isaiah 1:24. Therefore said the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, the mighty one of Yashala, I will ease me of mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. Okay, and that's all of these nations that touched us, spoke about in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, as well as these heathen, these natural Gentiles. All right, verse 25. And I would turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy sin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called. The city of righteousness, the faithful city. Once again, verse 26. And I will restore the judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. All right, it's how they call for people. So so that was that on that point. Matter of fact, let me go and keep reading. Verse 27. So Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts, keyword there, converts with righteousness. And that's all madness, man. So they have it. So see, there's been a mention here, and her converts with righteousness. You got a lot of these wicked language gates Israelites that just, they have no fear whatsoever of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. All right, verse 28. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord Yahweh shall be consumed. All right, verse 28 again. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord Yahweh shall be consumed. Okay, within his lake of fire, we're gonna have Jake screaming at the top of their lungs with their flesh being on fire. That's horrible, man. Yeah, so that was a point there. Isaiah 1:28, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord Yahweh shall be consumed. That spirit of burning spoke about in Isaiah the 4th chapter, man, through this last world's war, that destroying wind prophesied in Jeremiah 51st chapter, of thermonuclear fire, projected 1,000,000 degrees, as well as radiation. So there's going to be a heat like no other, man, and we do not want to feel that, because we're in our right minds. Call Allah Yahweh Hashem and Shai for that. To say and do the things that are necessary, man, in order to further tear down these strongholds and stumbling blocks, or have ourselves in a position to where Yahweh Hashem and Shai is using us to do that. Or further revealing the iniquity of these demons out here. So now you have this. It says in destruction, yeah. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much the point, man. 2/3 of our people are going to be left here if they don't repent, and 1/3 is going to be, or delivered, like those young ladies that came up to Elder Manatazad Ba's camp this past Friday, and they were in order. They weren't being clamorous. They weren't being belligerent. They weren't being disrespectful. And that's why the brother was telling those who were following him, his congregation, like, listen, you got to lighten up on that. There's a time and place for everything, man. All right. And now is the time for war. So there's not time to be indulging in folly like this. For everyone to see what only your man shall see. Now, being that you're doing that, now you got Ursher over here salivating at the mouth. But yeah, I believe the point has been made, man. So I'm going to end it off there. Give all praise, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was the God of the living. Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Rashai Barach. For blessed with the spirit to do this video, which you praise for the edifying is order to your elect. And with that, I'm going to leave us off the curse against Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, and the rest of the heathen. May Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Rashai Barach. Bakasha, Shalak Rayam, Wa Nashim, Wa Abiding, Wa Haragin, Wa Mashapadim, Al Kal Adiwamium, Wa Babakasha, the water, Timia, Tuwa, Aman. All right. And Shalak Sawapa, Alawadium, meaning send a whirlwind to this devil, Adawan Babakasha, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, and continue to expose this devil. Whether it be the pedophilia, whether it be the damn crack cocaine that they found in the White House, you Edomites are being exposed, man. And you are the source of this wickedness here. Or adultery being made prevalent. See? So you're going to be destroyed after 1,000 years of rulership for destroying the earth through your wine and fornication. All right, so I'm signing off. Yahweh Shem HaMashiach Shabrach. To the elect, DTA soon, very soon. Keep the faith, man. And allow us to let us keep our heads up. All right, being circumspect at all times, man. All right, because now, like brother was talking about the other day, forget what you can't, but they were saying, hey, man, now the time to have to pray even more heavy than before, man. These demons these Edomites are constantly conjuring up unclean spirits. So we'll see. But either way, you devils are still going down, man. No matter what you do, you're finished. See? So all right, so shalom to your elect. All right, and on to the next one. Honor up to that.